remember when I was like, I don't know if you remember, but I was like, I don't know which one I like and I don't like. And I know I don't like this better than Gordon Fisherman, but these, I don't know, they're not Gordon Fisherman fillets, so, you know. I'm gonna eat it with this broccoli casserole that I got from Aldi's. It's not that good. I'm gonna bake this for, I don't know, 40 minutes first. Okay, so hi, how are you guys doing today? Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time it is when you're watching my video. By the way, I've been drinking a lot of this tea lately. Hot. So I'm drinking a lot of this Lipton tea, which I typically only make for kombucha, not even kombucha sometimes. Who?
Yeah.
Oh. I interrupt this program for a package delivery. I think it's my soil, to be honest. It's 1 cubic feet of soil. Potting mix, whatever. I don't really need this right now, so I don't know how I'm gonna, you know, but here it is. Alright, so, yeah, these are so good. And I like my tea to be on the bolder side. So, like, if I ever use Lipton, I always have to use, like, 6 or 7 bags. These, I feel like I could just use 2 bags or 1 bag. Right now, I'm gonna use 1 bag only because I want, like, lemon tea. Moral of the story is, if you like strong black tea, the extra bold is where it's at. But my favorite tea overall, ignore it, is my pour tea. There was a sticker here, that's why I was like, didn't you write that? But my favorite tea in the world, my favorite black tea is pour tea, and like that and like dark oolong, so good. It's like aged black tea. Anyway, my water's boiling. I don't know why I'm not doing this one. Oh, I didn't even boil enough water. I mean, I guess for a couple of cups. No, I need to boil some more water. I was kind of hoping what came today was my new cat scratching post. Not cat scratching post, but it's supposed to be like a mat that, you know, where I keep the cardboard scratching post where like my cat litter box thing is. It's more of a mat and it's more durable, the reviews say. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm hoping it comes. It's either coming tomorrow or the next day. Or today. The next 3 days is probably gonna come. And I'm really excited about it. I know it's not even for me, but like, I need to change out his cat scratching thing, and it's starting to be a little bit of an expense for me to keep getting that one. So I'm trying to find alternative cat scratching thingies for my cat. Alright, so here's my tea. It's all amazing. It's just regular black tea with lemon, honey, and agave, but that's what it looks like. It's just something about like black tea with like lemon that like makes me remember my grandmother, like from my father's side, my Jamaican grandmother. Like every morning we will have tea before we eat breakfast, before we eat anything, and it'd be like 6 o'clock in the morning and we'll just have tea and like talk or something. My grandmother's still alive, but just remember those nostalgic moments. If you guys have things like that, like black tea with lemon always like makes me reminds me of my grandmother and like those early morning tea little powwows or whatever. And then those old-fashioned candies that you get in Christmas time. I don't remember what they're called, but my grandmother from my mom's side always used to have them like all year round. And like last Christmas I got it, and then Christmas before that I got it. But like it's just those old-fashioned candies that like really makes me, and I actually enjoy them because like one of them I think is like licorice flavor, and I love it. Like you look at it, you think, oh, it's grape. It's not grape, it's licorice, and I love it. Just those two things that like hardcore brings me back to like, you know, living with my grandmothers and like, you know, hanging out with my grandmothers. I have to tell you guys what happened to me a couple of days ago. Chase emailed me and text messaged me asking me if like this $100 transaction was mine. I was like, I don't know what that is. No, it's not mine. So they put a hole in it. Like with my iPhone, if I have like my card connected to my Apple Pay, when they close out the card, like 30 minutes later, another card appears. That's the card that you're gonna get sent in the mail. so it doesn't like slow you down. You can still use it, you know, and stuff like that. And if I was really on it, I could just went to like a Chase and have them like print out a card for me. Yeah, so cool, right? I have Chase, by the way, so it's no problem. But I do have a couple auto pay things that I have to like set up, or like make sure that they're like connected. And one of them is from the fertility clinic, or this fertility clinic, and it's like an $800 transaction. And I knew it was gonna come out yesterday, but this happened 3 days ago, so I knew it was gonna come out. So I'm like, all right, fine. Oh my goodness, I could put it on my credit card, get those rewards points, you know? So I call up the people, the clinic that's gonna take out this large transaction. Now, mind you, I have a couple of other things that's like automatically gonna take out from my card, but that's just like the main thing that I need to pay. Like, it's not, you know? So I called them up and I'm like, hey, my card got stopped. I have a new card coming. Can I just put it on this card going forward? Because like, I don't know why I didn't do that to begin with. Those points, those glorious money back. Like, for the $800, I'm probably going to get like what, $30, maybe even $50, you know? But that's like a whole like grocery shopping. That's a whole like, you know? So she was like, yeah, sure. So I gave her the number. She said normally we don't do this over the phone, so I gotta go in because it wasn't working over the phone. So I was like, you know what? It's totally fine. Like, okay. And yesterday I just went there with my card, 2 cards, boom, boom, fine. And it wouldn't go through. And I'm just trying to figure out why, because I have like a good amount on my credit cards, both of them, the Apple card and the American Express card. And I tried both of them and both of them didn't work. And I have like the actual tangible card with me. So I'm like, what's going on? Am I like the only one that get like so conscious? Like, I know I have money in it. Like, why is it, you know, like, especially because it was like a couple people there too as well. So like both of my cards declined, and I'm like, what's going on? So I'm like, I'm like freaking out, and I'm like, oh my God, like, what's happening? And then lady trying to explain to me that like, if I haven't made this large amount transactions on my cards before, which I have not. No, actually I did pay my rent with one of them, so I guess, yeah, whatever. She was like, sometimes that the company blocks it because it's an unusual purchase. So I was like, all right, okay, I get it. But then I forgot that like when they close out a card, at least on my phone, like my Apple phone, if one card closes out but they issue you a new one, within 30 minutes your new one is automatically replaced with the old one on your Apple Pay. And I forgot. So I'm like, oh, do you guys take Apple Pay? And she's like, yeah. So I used it and it worked. Whole drama that took 2 days, and I felt so like, what? So that was a little weird, but whatever, at least I paid it. But my goodness, the drama that led up to it was crazy. I had to switch shift with someone who didn't want to switch shifts with me, and it's like, I'm giving him my good shift to take his bad shift, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're gonna buy me lunch? And I'm like, no, but I'm gonna allow you to get paid. You're like, what do you mean am I gonna buy you lunch? Like, do you want to switch or do you not? I remember like when I used to work at Starbucks, that's how we used to like, but like close friends and stuff. Like, I really need you to take this shift for me. Like, if it's an inconvenience for that person, and like they know that I'm in a bind, I give them my sob story, and they're like, yeah, they're switched, you know. But now they gotta switch around their plans. Like, of course I'll buy them lunch. Of course I'll like, you know, be extra nice to them. But like this douche of a guy was like, oh, you buying me lunch now, right? And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll buy, because this type of person I am. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll buy you lunch. I had a morning shift. He has a closing shift, but we still like have a 2 hour or 4 hour, 2 or 4 hour gap where both of us are like at work together on that day. So I just needed to switch for him so he could be the opener and I could be the closer, no problem. Yeah, so I bought him cats. I bought him and me cats because there's no way I'm buying someone else a freaking pastrami sandwich. And like, you only get pastrami and rye when you go to Cats. I mean, I used to get their broccoli knishes, but I think like over the years they changed it. It's no longer the same company, broccoli. I don't know. Either that or it's just not good anymore. I like knishes. I like knish. I like knish, whatever. And he was like, oh, you don't really have to do that. But I'm like, Dad made this whole story. Oh my goodness. All right. Then before I clock in, I was talking to my coworker, and me and her are more cooler. And I'm like, I can't believe that like I couldn't pay with my credit card. Like, what the hell? And then this girl that was like halfway up the stairs to go to the main floor stops, come back down, and be like, oh, do you mind not using that language? And I was just like, at first I didn't think she was talking to us because I thought she was on the phone or something, like someone was cursing her out or something. And then she like called me, and I was like, yeah, hey, hi, how are you? You know, like, good afternoon. And then she's like, okay, good afternoon. Do you mind not using that language? And she was so polite and all this other stuff. And I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, I was using profanity. And I was like, I don't remember using profanity. And it was because I said, what the hell? Like, I don't curse that much. But like, it just grinds my gears when like people that are like so holier than thou that like corrects other people for like using language that comes out of their mouths, that, and people who correct your grammar like hardcore is like the most annoying people in the world to me. Like, they're the same people who correct your grammar every time you say something wrong, and people who like, oh, tell you not to curse, you know. And first of all, we're all adults, right? We're all adults. We know those words exist. We know certain people use those words. And I was like, oh, I apologize. I was unaware that like my speech offended you. It wasn't intentional. I was talking to blah, 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 not you. And I thought you went upstairs. I apologize. And then she's like, it doesn't matter if you didn't think I was around. You should not be using that type of language. And I was just like, and me and my friend were both like looking at her. Now, mind you, my manager office is like 2 doors down. So, but it's kind of like her door's open. So when her door's open, she can hear because it's kind of like echo. And then, and then I was like, oh, again, I apologize. I was like, oh, but you could tell that I was kind of like, I was like, oh, okay, again, I apologize. I didn't know my speech offended you. I apologize. And then, like, she went on to say something else and just walked away. But as she was walking out the door, my manager came and said, can I talk to you in the office for a moment? Like, and then she got, like, a talking to because, like, the way she came about it, even though she didn't use, like, profanity or anything like that, it was, like, super rude, and, like, she wanted an argument. So she got like an instigating, like, because she was kind of like baiting me to like, because she knew I had a bad day. I don't know, but she is like that prim and proper princess type of person. And it just like, she's okay to work with. She's like a good worker, but it's just like, you know, like, who are you to tell me? And I said, what the hell? I didn't like, there's a bunch of words I could have said, but I don't really say a lot. But like, you know, like, what? And I didn't like want to make her feel uncomfortable, out of place, you know, like, this is the work safe environment. And even if it's a little over the top, it's still like her personal feelings, and I want to like validate her own feelings. So I just accepted it. But then I hear her talking on the phone. Like, this happened towards the end because she was a closer with me. So I hear her talking on the phone, and she was like, I can't work here anymore. All these girls are just classless and just like cursing all the time and just using like language, like rude and vulgar language. And I was like, what? All right, so I'm going to end today's vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed this little chit chat story time with me. Yeah, it's a chatty one. It's a lengthy one.